a step-by-step process for solving when it's not set up well for substitution. The first thing we need to do is line up your x's, y's, equal signs, and constants. So on this particular one, if I line up my x's, y's, equal signs, and constants, remember the constants are the numbers that are by themselves, with legal math moves, what needs to be changed about this particular system? Yeah. The x's and the y's actually just need to be switched on one of these. So I have 3x and I have negative 8y. I want my x's here and my y's here and my equal sign and my constants. Those all need to be lined up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap these out. And when I do that, I'm going to rewrite this as 3x plus 2y equals 48. And the second equation, what do I need to make sure comes with that 8y? What needs to stay with that 8y? The negative sign. So this is going to be 9x minus 8y equals negative 24. My next step is to multiply either equation or both by numbers that will give you opposite coefficients for x and y. When I look at this, if I were to, what we're going to end up doing is adding these two equations. If I were to add this, I would get 3x plus 9x would give me 12x, and 2y minus 8y, or plus a negative 8y, would give me negative 6y. Neither variable would get eliminated, and that's what I need to happen. So what I'm looking for is a number that I can multiply either the top equation or the bottom equation, or in some cases both, that will make these two numbers the opposite and these two numbers the opposite. So what's one of those numbers?
You can times the top one by negative 3, or you can times it by 4.
Okay, so I could multiply the top equation by negative 3, and that would give me a negative 9x here. I could also multiply it by 4, which would give me an 8y here. I can do either one. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply the top equation by negative 3. And that means I'm going to multiply everything in that equation by negative 3. So I'm going to rewrite this down here. Negative 3 times 3x is a negative 9x. Negative 3 times 2y is negative 6y. And negative 3 times 48. And that step a lot of people forget. So make sure you're multiplying it by everything in that equation. Negative 3 times 48 is negative 144. Then I'm going to drop this second equation down. So right here, that's where I have my opposite.
Isn't it 134?
Let me check. Negative 3 times 48. I got negative 144.
Oh, never mind. Sorry about that.
So this negative 9x, write this down please, and positive 9x, guys, shh, right. Those are the opposite coefficients. That's what we're trying to get. The first two steps, those are our difficult steps. Those are our more challenging ones. After this, it actually gets a lot easier. The next thing we're going to do is add the equations from step 2. Okay, so now you add them. Negative 9x plus 9x gives me what? What is negative 9x
0.
plus 9x? That's going to give me 0. So that's how the x's get eliminated. Negative 6y plus negative 8y, what does that give me? Negative 14y. And negative 144 minus 24 is going to give me a negative 168. So now I have a nice, simple equation to solve. At this point, you should only have x or y. You should not have both. So you're going to solve for that variable. So I've got negative 14y equals negative 168. What do I do to solve for y? You guys all know this one. What do I do to solve for y? Divide by it. Divide by negative 14. And that's going to give me 12. So sorry, that last step, substitute that value into an original equation. One of the original equations is 3x plus 2y equals 48. I know that 12 is my y value, so I'm going to put that number in for y. So 3x plus 2 times 12 equals 48. What's 2 times 12? 24. Subtract 24 from both sides. So I have 3x equals 24. Divide by 3, and x equals 8. So now that I have a value for both x and y, my last step is the same as it was with substitution, and it's to check your answer. So I'm going to just put for this last step, check your answer the same way that you did with substitution. So I'm going to use my second equation, negative 8y plus 9x equals negative 24. So negative 8, whoops. And instead of y, I'm going to put 12 plus 9. Instead of x, I'm going to put 8 equals negative 24. Negative 8 times 12 is negative 96, plus 72, and that gives me negative 24. So I know I've done this problem correctly. So my point of intersection is going to be the point 8, 12. And that is it for solving systems using elimination.